She was kidnapped and then brainwashed into robbing banks. Here we go, the 15-minute morning show podcast, but it's summer schedule, so it may be less than 15 minutes.
Oh, I like this.
It's the new 5-minute summer podcast.
It is.
It is.
You sound so enthusiastic about it. So let's do it. Danielle wants to start the podcast out with a question.
Yes.
And we don't know what it is. You're going to be surprised just like the rest of us.
So here's my question. First is for you. Elvis, do you have Ed Sheeran's phone number?
Yes.
Okay. Because an article just came out in People 2 hours ago. They posted this on social. Garrett and I were talking about it. It says Ed Sheeran reveals why he hasn't had a phone since 2015.
Well, that's why I hesitated. If I called him right now, it wouldn't go to him. It goes to someone who's usually with him.
Okay. Because he said that he was losing real life interaction, and that's one of the reasons why he doesn't have one anymore. So now people were commenting on the post. People can be so mean. That's what happens when you got all these people that are helping you out and blah, 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 blah.
I'm going to make an assumption here, and I think it's right. I think he does have a phone, but it's only for he and his wife.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Good for emergencies in case the kids have an emergency.
He's not going to give me that number.
No, that makes total sense.
The bat phone.
But the good thing is for anything else, but that's good to know that if it all goes through his people and they deal with it so he doesn't have to deal with it and he can concentrate on other things.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense to me then. Thank you. That was my question.
If I was his wife, I'm sure I would have that number.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
No.
I'm the people that they're trying to protect him from. All right.
Stop.
What's that, Garrett?
I think it's also because he was talking about there was just so many things consuming his life on that phone between apps and scrolling, and he just...
It's true.
And he said in the article, too, and on Jake Shane's podcast, that he just lost connection. So a guy that's on stage in front of thousands of people every night still didn't feel like he was connected with people, even though he was on his phone.
Well, he talked about this on our show. I recall this conversation, and it was basically the same thing you just said. But that's the deal.
He said he has something to video stuff that would then go up on social media. He says, like, he was at a game the other night, a basketball game, and they gave him the phone to video, and then he gives it back.
Yeah. Well, he did that right in front of us. Remember the day after the trial, he came in? And he had a phone, and he was doing some stuff, but he did return it to someone else in the room. So that's that story.
It's very interesting, huh? I find that fascinating.
Very.
I wish I had a person.
Me too. I wish I had a person.
Take this thing away from me.
Here, take it. Thank you.
Let's talk about the end of our show today. I don't know if you've heard the show, but we're talking about this big murder trial that's going on up in Boston. And fascinating. Karen Reed murder trial is what it is. It's all over TikTok. It's about shady cops, prosecution, judge, crazy in-the-field investigations. It does sound pretty wild and wicked, as they would say. Right, Gandhi?
Wicked crazy. Oh, yeah. It has taken over all of New England. I wouldn't say just Boston. I would say that whole area. And because, I used to live there, and I was on a show there. That show covers it nonstop on Kiss 108, and so does my friend Ashley's show. It's just like, what can you find out about the Karen Reed trial today?
Wow.
Which witnesses can we have come talk to us? Like, it's crazy. Wow. I know, it's really hard
to. But it could become like a big cover-up thing. Who knows?
That's what they're saying. But it's so funny how it's just split right down the middle with half the people saying she absolutely did it. And the other half, it's absolutely a cover-up. She had nothing to do with this. And both sides swear that they're right. But there's just like no gray area for either side.
Wow. Fascinating. And the question in the room during a song or something when we were not on mic was, well, why are we so fascinated with this kind of stuff? Because it's a story that's unfolding right before your eyes. I mean, you don't know the answer, so that's where we start assuming, right? The hypotheses start rolling. And I don't know. See, now I want to go get involved with it. I want to go.
Oh, don't worry. Netflix will pick up the rights, and you'll have a show in no time to watch.
It's the trial of the century. Like, you go back through time, and before TV and before people even really know how to read, it's like, well, all right, well, what's going on? Who's getting persecuted or prosecuted for what? Elvis, you've had trials of the century, like when you were younger. Weren't there things that were going on that were playing out? Wasn't that Patty Hearst thing or something?
Yeah. I was very young, by the way.
Yeah.
Patty Hearst, the great-granddaughter of William Randolph Hearst, or granddaughter maybe, no, great-granddaughter. A very powerful media family. She was kidnapped and then brainwashed into robbing banks at gunpoint. And then when they wanted to try to bring her back, she's like, "No, I like these guys."
Wow.
It's a good
But they did
time
bring her
over
back.
here.
They brought her back, and it was a trial of the century. You know what trial I loved was from Florence, Italy, the Amanda Knox
Oh, my
trial.
Oh, that was
When you start
crazy.
digging
That
into
was
that
wild.
thing,
That
that
was
is
remember
nuts.
American student living in Florence, with roommates, and then someone dies, and the Americans accused of murdering someone, and that turned into a major fiasco because, as crazy as courtroom drama rolls out in the United States, Italy is a whole other set of rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that
And
the
so we were
threesome?
Yeah.
Yep.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly.
Damn.
And now
And now
she's going back to trial again.
Yeah, for
Slander.
Slander.
Yeah,
Yeah, slander.
She blamed it on a bar owner, and he says it ruined his life. He had nothing to do with it, so now he's suing her, so she has to go back to court in Italy.
Wow.
I know, but couldn't she choose not to go?
Yeah, I think that's the thing, because if she shows back up in Italy, she gets arrested.
Yeah, I
so
thought so too. Yeah.
so by her staying here, she doesn't have to face anything. She just never can go to Italy ever again. But
Well, I
don't
think
think
she
she wants
went. Didn't she go?
I think she did go. Let me double check though.
Yeah, because I saw that documentary, and the whole thing is she can never go back there.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
But maybe that's changed. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
know. Maybe she didn't go.
She's been convicted of it.
She's been reconvicted of
Yes.
slander in Italy.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Why
yeah, so
go
we get,
there? Why didn't you just stay where you were?
Because they've got great food and wine.
Oh, is that why?
It's very beautiful.
That's worth
See the
it.
Colosseum.
Tuscany's gorgeous this time of year. In handcuffs. Why do we get so wrapped up?
Because I guess we don't know the outcome, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Because
like
it
watching
is
sports.
it's a true, well-written story.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's one of those things where when you're watching a movie, don't you try to figure out as the movie's
Yeah.
happening, like who did it? And I think all of us want to be the person that figures it out and is like, aha, I knew.
I knew it was
None of us
you.
have any idea what is going
Well,
on. I love
Well, the
it.
O.J. Simpson trial was definitely the trial of the century for my life, anyway.
yeah, same.
Mine too.
And so we watched that unfold, and that was drama. It was more than just facts about murder. There was drama going on, human lives that were ruined, and it's just there's so much to it.
But even with OJ, though, it still went on up until the day and still past his death. That it was like, who did it? Was it him? Was it his son? Was
Well,
It was him.
It was him.
O.J. Simpson did it.
But
If you don't watch the O.J. Simpson documentary that was on Netflix, I think, right?
Maybe.
And they interview all of his friends and all the people that knew them and all the people that knew her. And oh my gosh, she used to talk about how he beat the shit out of her
Yeah.
all the time, and nobody did anything. I
did see a documentary that made a very compelling
Oh, my
argument that it was the
gosh.
son.
his son, right?
And
It was his
that
son, and he was
OJ
covering up for
took
him.
the fall. Yeah.
And then what made him get into the Bronco with the disguise and the money and have his friend drive him while he had a...
Once
It wasn't
again,
Halloween. It wasn't Halloween.
No, it just ruined the NBA Finals for me because it was the Knicks versus the Houston Rockets. I was so pissed in 5th grade.
Because that stupid Bronco chase.
They interrupted the NBA Finals for that. Like, come on. That's when OJ wanted to talk to Ahmad Rashad live on the air while the NBA Finals was
Right.
going on, and NBC.
Remember that?
Yeah. NBC said no.
They should have put that call on. Are you kidding me?
I would have enjoyed it. I wouldn't have been pissed off at OJ at the time then.
I mean, it just adds to the drama, and if you're, add that extra layer of celebrity where you think your shit don't stink, right?
Yep.
What other person accused of murdering someone would want to go on a game show and talk to? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, who are you?
There's layers
who were
of
you?
crazy.
Imagine being Ahmad Rashad just sitting at home watching the game and be like, hey, OJ's on the phone. He wants to talk to you live on the air right now while the game's going on.
God, man, put that call on right now.
Ratings.
Anyway, let's keep an eye on this trial. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's bring it back on the show earlier tomorrow and talk about it because it is fascinating. Is there anything else we need to cover before we run for our lives after our 5-minute?
Oh, well,
We actually went way over. We went way over our 5-minute
Danielle
limit.
deemed it the summer of 5-minute podcast.
How long did we go?
9 minutes.
Oh, so
Wow.
tomorrow we only do
One.
Danielle's keeping score. All right, well, have a beautiful day, guys. Bye.
Bye.